Our main presenter today will be the Prince George's County Fire Chief Mark, M-A-R-C, middle initial S as in Sam, Bashor, B-A-S-H-O-O-R. Another speaker will be Andrew Pantelis, P as in Paul, A-N-T-E-L-I-S. He is the president of the Prince George's County Firefighters and Paramedics Association, IAF Local 1619. Now my pleasure to introduce Fire Chief Mark Bashor.
Good morning. I do want to recognize a couple other folks. First, City of Bowie Mayor Fred Robinson. Although we are just outside of the City of Bowie limits, the city has been a great partner in our efforts to further fire prevention. So Mayor, thank you. We also have some other folks from the Homeowners Association here that you'll have an opportunity later to speak to if they want to. I've spoke with Councilman Turner this morning and during the course of the fire here. He's unable to be with us this morning, but certainly he is supporting us from the County Council's perspective. I welcome everyone here to a beautiful sunny morning. The sun that certainly masks the grief that not only this community but our fire and EMS department have experienced over the past 2 days. We're standing in front of this burned out home where 83-year-old Kenneth Souder lost his life in a Christmas Eve fire. Another occupant of the home smelled the smoke from the fire, a fire that probably started about 8:15. I say probably 8:15 because it took time for the fire to develop and for the smoke to make it down to the bedrooms where the occupants laid. Sadly, there was no working smoke alarms in this home to give both occupants early notification of the growing fire. The first calls came into the 911 center at 8:30 a.m. By that time, the fire was already well advanced. Helped by neighbors, the female occupant was able to exit the home through a window. Firefighters were able to quickly reach Mr. Souder and remove him to the outside and immediately begin advanced life support efforts. Sadly, Mr. Souder succumbed to his injuries from the smoke and fire. Fire investigators have determined that a space heater too close to combustibles was the cause of this fire. Fast forward to Christmas morning, about 2:15 a.m. A working smoke alarm in a duplex on Booker Drive in Seat Pleasant awoke 2 sleeping residents. Experiencing very similar circumstances, one occupant was able to jump out of an upper floor window, and both that occupant and neighbors tried valiantly to pull 87-year-old Fanny Kirkland out of the top floor window. That attempt was complicated by the high windows and an open staircase inside the home. That open staircase unfortunately provides an interior type of chimney for heat and smoke to rapidly expand. While the working smoke alarm gave the residents early warning and extra time to escape, sadly the results on Booker Drive were the same as here on Park Drive. One occupant was able to escape through a window, while firefighters were unable to get to 87-year-old Fanny Kirkland in time. She succumbed to the smoke and fire in an upper floor bedroom. That fire remains under active investigation. Even with these sad events, Prince George's County has experienced a 70% reduction in fire fatalities in 2014 over 2013. There is a very sobering statistic, though, that needs immediate attention. 4 of the 5 fire fatalities this year occurred in residential dwellings where we found no working smoke alarm. I want to repeat that. 4 of the 5 fire deaths in Prince George's County in the past year occurred in homes where there was no working smoke alarm. 3 of the 4 fatalities have been in single-family homes here in the Bowie community. Staff and I will be addressing the City of Bowie Council meeting on January 5th as part of a public education effort specifically for the Bowie communities. As Fire Chief, I take each and every one of these fatalities personally. Frankly, I take them partially as a failure of our fire prevention and public education efforts. Not that we've done anything wrong, but that we're not doing enough. We should be at 0. While the 4 out of 5 fatalities in homes with no working smoke alarms is a sobering statistic, we have also documented over 3 dozen instances in 2014 where working smoke alarms have successfully alerted residents to fires in their home. 9 of those instances actually awoke residents from a deep sleep. On December 21st, the Rojas family was alerted to a fire in their Bunker Hill home by their smoke alarm. All 4 family members escaped unharmed. In fact, until the tragic Booker Drive incident, every one of those alerted by their smoke alarms in 2014 was able to escape unharmed.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. I'll take.
All right. You're all going to cut that part out.
For a small fee.
Right.
And for me kneeling.
Yeah. I do want pictures of this. If anybody has got it, I would appreciate it.
Was there white smoke or dark smoke? Let's do white smoke.
So I'm going to repeat that last part so we've got it. On December 21st, the Rojas family was alerted to a fire in their Bunker Hill home by their smoke alarm. All 4 family members escaped unharmed. In fact, until the tragic Booker Drive incident, every one, and yes, every one of those alerted by their smoke alarms in 2014 was able to escape unharmed. Despite Mrs. Kirkland's tragic death, the early notification those smoke alarms provided is a success story that every resident listening to me today should take to heart. Prince George's County enacted legislation in 1982 that requires smoke alarms in every residential unit. Further, in 1987, Prince George's County enacted legislation that requires residential sprinklers in all homes. The smoke alarm legislation was retroactive, the sprinkler legislation only for new. The Prince George's County Fire EMS Department has some of the best fire prevention legislation in the United States. However, we continue to have fire fatalities in homes that we find unprotected. We have had wonderful corporate relationships with Pepco, Kidda, and First Alert, along with others, who donate smoke alarms and carbon monoxide detectors to the department annually. Our firefighters and paramedics operating out of 45 community fire stations come out to homes and install these alarms free of charge. We know that working smoke alarms save lives, but clearly we need to do more. Today, as a direct result of this fire and others like it, I am announcing a new effort within our Safe Families program. While firefighters and paramedics will be going door to door after this press conference here in this community and this afternoon in the Booker Drive community, which is part of our post-incident neighborhood intervention program. You'll hear it called PINUP. As neighbors within these communities, we cannot let the effort stop when we leave these 2 communities today. As part of the Neighbors Helping Neighbors initiative that we already have, I am calling on all of our neighborhoods to help us out. The Fire and EMS Department cannot do this alone. We are developing a new Adopt a Neighborhood effort where we will ask neighborhood businesses to step up and help us fund the smoke alarm and carbon monoxide detector effort. The Fire EMS Department will track the neighborhood effort with a web GIS-based program that will verify that homes have been properly equipped and tested. The Fire EMS Department will continue to install the alarms as long as we have a supply. They are free of charge to those who are unable to afford their own. If you have a detector or an alarm and you just need a little help putting it up, call 311. We'll come out the next day to make sure that it's installed. A lot of times we hear people say, I went out and got one, but just haven't had time to put it up. Call us. We'll come put it up. We'll make sure that your home is protected. The Adopt a Neighborhood effort will endeavor to develop improved fire prevention and public education efforts using both our paid and volunteer members of our Fire and EMS Department who already operate in our neighborhoods. We will not just come and go. We will remain in the neighborhood until all homes are protected, and we will develop lasting Neighbors Helping Neighbors efforts that will continue to improve everyone's safety. Mark. I am pleased to announce the first business who has stepped up to the Adopt a Neighborhood program. The International Association of Firefighters and Paramedics Local 1619, whose corporate offices are located on Melford Boulevard right at the entrance to this neighborhood. Local 1619 has agreed to adopt the Sherwood Manor neighborhood. The local will work with the department to identify funding to ensure every home in this neighborhood is safer. For a few words, I'd like to introduce Andy Pantelis, president of Local 1619. Andy?
Thank you, Chief. Good morning. And first off, on behalf of the officers of the members of the Prince George's County Professional Firefighters and Paramedics Association, we'd like to offer our condolences and sympathies to the families and friends of the 2 fire victims that were lost over this Christmas holiday. We're proud of our partnership with the Prince George's County Fire and EMS Department. For several years, we've had a partnership where we donate hundreds of smoke alarms each year to the department for distribution across the county to those residents who can't afford or don't have the ability to install smoke alarms on their own. And we're pleased to partner with the Fire and EMS Department again on this new initiative in the Adopt a Neighborhood program. We are a neighbor of Sherwood Manor. We're right up the street, and when we heard of this incident here, we immediately reached out to the chief to see what we could do to help. So what we'd like to do is also encourage and challenge our other businesses in Prince George's County. Public-private partnerships are so important to the success of these types of programs and these initiatives. There's no neighborhood that's too small, no effort that's too small, and anything that could be done with our other corporate sponsors and other corporate partners in Prince George's County would be a great help to the success of this program. Thank you very much.
As Andy said, I too am challenging any other business, municipality, 501c3, anybody that can help, any other business community within our neighborhoods to step up. Step up and participate in this program. I said it before and it bears repeating. Your fire and EMS department cannot do this alone. Any business or neighborhood entity willing to participate in this program, to become a partner in the program, is urged to call 301-864-SAFE. That is our smoke detector hotline, but it's 301-864-7233. They give their name and contact information. We'll get back to them as we develop the pieces of this program. So as we develop those mechanisms and expand the Adopt a Neighborhood program, I am confident that we will experience a safer Prince George's County. So that's it for the prepared comments. I'd like to open up for any questions that any of the media may have. Absolutely, and the dynamic difference of Booker over this is the difference of 1 story versus 2. And when you have a 2-story home and that interior stairwell that's open, it creates a funnel for the fire that draws that heat and smoke upstairs. So absolutely, in the case of Booker Drive, had there not been a working smoke alarm, it's highly likely that we'd be talking about 2 fatalities in that case. And there both, again, they were able to get out a window here. There he had to get out of an upper floor window, actually jumped out of that window. There he and neighbors were able to try to help. Here, they were not, at the point that neighbors were here, they helped the other occupant out of the home, but they were unable to get in to help the male out.
Chief,
yes?
There are fatal fires everywhere, and you had mentioned there was more than one here in PG County. Why this weekend, though, did you decide to come up with this adoption?
Well, I mean, we have multiple programs that we've had for years. And since the smoke alarm legislation was enacted back in 1987, we've had programs where we install smoke alarms. What's tragic about this is that in 2014, 4 of the 5 were in homes with no working smoke alarm. So we know we've had these programs, we've been out going door to door. After every fatal incident, we have our firefighters and paramedics go door to door in the communities, yet we continue to find homes that are unprotected. So add to that the Christmas, the Christmas holiday and the spirit of the time. It's hard on our folks. It's hard on the communities, but it's also hard on our folks. And this is a way for us to have a renewed effort to get back out into these communities and to make sure that we do the best we can to not have this happen again. Any other questions? Okay, so we'll that'll conclude the press conference. Mark, you can go ahead and get up. I got this.
All right. And we also want, if anybody would like to team up with a pair of firefighters that'll be going door to door, please do so. Pick your crews as they divide up and head out through the community. And there will be more than enough crews to go out for one media team to pair up with a pair of firefighters.